Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. In today's video, we'll discuss about a topic called types of chemical reaction. In the previous video, we discussed about the displacement effects of electron because of the movement of electrons by the influence of atoms, group of atoms, or because of reagent molecules which is attacking a substrate. Now, when you consider for a chemical reaction, there are clearly two types: inorganic chemical reaction and organic chemical reactions. Usually, inorganic chemical reactions are classified as combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, double displacement reaction. But if you consider for a chemical reaction of organic compounds, what we observe is organic compounds are again classified to four different types of chemical reactions. Those are substitution reaction, second one is addition reaction, third one is elimination reaction, and the fourth one being rearrangement reaction. Okay, so these are the four different types of organic chemical reaction. So those are substitution reaction, addition reaction, elimination reaction, and rearrangement reaction. We discuss more about this particular four reactions in the next chapter of hydrocarbons. But for the basic concepts, what does substitution, addition, elimination, and rearrangement reaction mean? So a substitution reaction is a particular type of reaction where we observe that one or two of the atoms, one or more atoms of a particular substrate will be replaced by different atom. That is, if in a reaction, one or more atoms of a substrate is being replaced by a nucleophile or an electrophile, which we have discussed earlier itself, what is a nucleophile and electrophile, then those type of reactions are called substitution reaction. That is, if one or more atoms of a substrate is replaced by a nucleophile or an electrophile, then those type of reactions are called substitution reaction. Usually, alkanes undergo this type of reaction. Next is addition reaction. So, addition reaction is a process where we observe that both nucleophile and electrophile will be added to a substrate. In the previous case, either one of them will be replacing an atom present in the molecule. But in addition reaction, there will be no replacement happening, but what will be happening is there will be addition of both a nucleophile and an electrophile to a particular substrate. Those type of reactions are called as addition reaction. Next is elimination reaction. So elimination reaction are those particular type of reactions where we observe that a nucleophile and an electrophile will leave the substrate to form a new molecule. Okay, in the addition reaction we added nucleophile and electrophile, but in elimination reaction we'll be removing both nucleophile and an electrophile to form a new molecule, inducing certain changes in the substrates. Okay, so those type of reactions are called elimination reaction. Next is the rearrangement reaction. So rearrangement reaction are those where an atom present in the substrate is shuffled in its position. So if it is present in the first position, it will be shuffled to a second or third position. If an atom present in a substrate is altering its position, then those type of reactions are called rearrangement reaction. Okay, so substitution reaction is substituting an atom, substituting one or more atoms. Okay, in substitution reaction we observe substitution of one or more atoms by a different atom. In addition reaction we will be adding a nucleophile and an electrophile. In elimination reaction we will be removing nucleophile and electrophile. Okay, but in the rearrangement reaction we observe shift in the position of atoms. shift in the position of atoms. So these are the 4 different organic reactions which we observe in our normal days, in normal organic reactions. So about these particular 4 reactions, about the examples of these particular reactions, we'll be discussing more in the hydrocarbon chapter, where we'll be studying about alkane, alkene and alkyne molecules, which usually undergo these 4 different types of organic reactions. Next, we'll be discussing about a topic called purification methods involved in organic compounds. Next is purification of organic compounds. As we purify metals from metal ores in inorganic substances, we also have to purify organic compounds from the synthesized metals. As I said in the earlier classes itself, organic compounds are synthesized, or it may also be synthesized in laboratory, or it may also be extracted from certain living organisms, like for example human body, animal cells, plant tissues, or you can also consider some fungus, bacteria, etc. So whenever you extract a particular organic compound, you have to purify those organic compounds in certain chemical methods. If you consider for the purification of inorganic substances, we have different methods such as zone refining, isolation using electrolysis, blast furnace method, etc. But when you consider for organic compound extraction, there are particularly 5 methods of purification. Out of 5, 3 methods were used initially in the organic compounds extraction. But later and later in nowadays, we have 2 different types of methods which is highly efficient in extracting or purifying an organic compound. So the methods are, the first method is sublimation method. The first method is called the sublimation method, and then we have crystallization method. Crystallization method of purification, and we have distillation method of purification, method of distillation, and then we have diffracted extraction, and then chromatography techniques. So this chromatography technique is the new method of purification, and it is very highly efficient for extracting or purifying an organic compound. So these are the 5 specific methods which we use for purification of organic compounds. So in case of sublimation, what we are all doing with the consider of this particular 5 different types, we'll discuss descriptively in this particular videos. So now first we'll start about sublimation concept. So what does the sublimation mean, and what is the method of sublimation? So whenever you consider certain organic compounds or any compound for the example, they when heated may convert their phase to one physical matter of state to another physical state of matter. Like for example, if you heat a solid substance, it may get liquefied to form liquid, which further on heating forms gases, right? So this is a normal conversion of physical states. So when you heat solid, it forms a liquid. This particular process is called melting or liquefaction. We say it as melting or liquefaction. If the liquid is heated further, it forms gases, and that particular process is called evaporation, right? But what if you convert a solid matter directly into a gaseous matter? That particular type of reaction is called, process is called sublimation. So whenever you have an organic compound which is synthesized or extracted mixed with certain organic compounds which are easily sublimiscible, that means if an organic compound, if you have to extract an organic compound or purify an organic compound which can be directly converted from the solid state to a gaseous state, and it is mixed with impurities which cannot be done the same way, then you can use this particular method of sublimation to purify that organic compound. Like for example, if you have to consider for ethanol, if you have to consider for the compound A, mixed with a compound B. We have to purify the organic compound A. So if you consider for the solid A and solid B, on heating, A can directly be converted to gaseous A. Okay, it can be directly converted to vapor phase of A, but B on heating forms liquid. If B on heating forms liquid, then you can use this particular sublimation method for extracting A from B. Okay, if A is an organic compound which you have to be extracting from the or purifying it from an impurity, then you can use the method of sublimation, where we observe that when you heat a particular submissible organic compound which is present with impurities which are non-submissible. Submissible means they can be converted from solid to gas. Non-submissible means they cannot be converted to solid to gas. They have to form solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So if you have to extract an organic compound which can be directly submissible, then you can use this particular method of purification. So method says that when you heat an organic compound which is submissible in nature and it is mixed with non-submissible impurities, then you can directly get the vapors of the organic compound which you have to obtain. So thus we can extract the organic compounds, or you can purify the organic compound present with their impurities. So that method is called the sublimation method. So now what do you mean by exactly what is the definition for sublimation? Let us write it down. Sublimation, let us write down the definition. That is, it is the process of heating a submissible organic compound mixed with a non-submissible impurity. To purify it is called the sublimation. So it is the process of heating a submissible organic compound which is mixed with a non-submissible impurity, okay, which can be later purified. So if you use a process of purification of organic compound which is submissible in nature. So what do you mean by submissible means? Submissible means that this particular organic compound can be converted to a solid to vapor directly without going to the liquid phase. And non-submissible means it has to follow the simpler formation of changing its state. That is, it has to form solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So those type of purification of organic compound can be done by using the method of sublimation. Okay, so this is the first method of purification of organic compound. Now the second method is the crystallization method. So crystallization method is quite oftenly used in those cases if you have minor amount of the organic compound which is to be purified. The second method is crystallization. So this crystallization method involves a simple concept, that is, if you have an organic compound which has to be purified mixed with an organic compound where both these two have different solubility. Okay, so if an organic compound is mixed with one more organic compound where these two have a different solubility in the same solvent, then you can use that particular crystallization method. So what happens in the crystallization method is, let us say a compound A and a compound B is mixed together. We have to extract organic compound A from the mixture of AB, and both these two are soluble in water, but the extent of solubility is less for B when less for A when compared to B. Okay, the extent of solubility, if it is less for one of the atom, then you can one of the organic compound, then you can use this crystallization method. So what you have to do in this particular crystallization method is, first you need to prepare a saturated solution of the given mixture of organic compound. So if you mix A and B and dissolve it in water or any solvent of organic compound, and first you have to form a saturated solution. Okay, once you form a saturated solution, what we observe is the compound which has a higher solubility will be dissolving in the solvent first, leaving behind the second compound. Okay, so if we are adding two different solutes, that is A and B are the two different solutes which is mixed in the form of mixture, and you are adding it to a solvent, because of the variation in the solubility, one of the compound will be dissolved completely in the solvent and the other one will be left in the settled bottom. So what happens is, when you increase the temperature, it will increase the particular concentration of dissolving. So further what we can say is, when you mix two organic compounds of different solubility with a solvent, one of them will be soluble in a higher, faster rate, and the second one will be soluble in a slower rate. So once you mix those two, and then you can use a filtrate process to remove that. Then once you have filtered the particular compound, let us say A has been completely dissolved in the solvent first, leaving behind B. So B is being insoluble in water. Okay, A is soluble in water and B is insoluble in water. Next, what we can do is, if A is soluble, that means it is forming a solution with water, and on passing through a filter paper, it can flow easily, where we collect the B at the filter itself. Okay, so this A is now called the filtrate. Okay, so this filtrate, and this is the residue. That is the impurity which is not dissolved in water. So the residue will be discarded off, and the filtrate, which contains our required organic compound and the solvent, has to be removed in such a way that we get just the organic compound which we require, leaving behind the water molecule. So for that particular type of process, we use this crystallization method. So where what we do is, we keep this in a wide open space in such a way that it slowly evaporates the solvent molecule. Whenever you add a solute to a solvent, solvent undergoes vaporization faster when compared to a solute. Therefore, when you add the mixture of solute of organic compound in water, water gets evaporated easily, where the compound A will be recrystallized. That means it is forming back to its solid state from its liquid solution. So this type of process is called crystallization method. So this crystallization method is used for extraction of organic compounds which are mixed with other impurities which is having a different solubility. Okay, so these are the two methods which we use for the purification of organic compound. So this is all about for today. In the next video, we'll discuss about the distillation process, where we have three different types of distillation, and we also have to write down the certain experimental setup for those distillation process. We'll discuss that in the next video. I hope you have understood this. If you do have understood this, please do subscribe to my channel and share this video among your friends. Thank you for watching.